As the film begins, a naked, tattooed Yakuza is bloodied and terrorized by a new breed of sharp-dressed gangsters in a luxury car. The Tōkyō Manji gang is flexing its muscle, and a furious conflict within the underworld is in motion. The focus then changes completely, towards Takemichi Hanagaki, a 27-year-old freelance with no hope in life, who learns one day that his middle school ex-girlfriend, Hinata Tachibana, as well as her younger brother Naoto, are killed during the aforementioned incident. Later that day, a shocked Takemichi is pushed in front of a train, but instead of dying, he teleports exactly 10 years into the past to 2010. Takemichi relives his middle school years, and after revealing to Naoto that Hinata will die, he is suddenly transported back to the present, creating a time paradox where Naoto survives and is now a detective. Naoto deduces that Takemichi is able to travel back 10 years when they hold hands. Using his knowledge from the future, the young man vows to save Hinata, but in order to do so, he has to change the past of Tōkyō Manji gang also, while in the process, he finds himself being friendly with the leader, Mikey Sano, and his second-in-command, Draken. As he learns more about them, he also realizes that every change he makes in the past also has repercussions to the future, while his relationship with the gang leaders puts his connection with Naoto to strain. Naoto's insistence to kill Mikey makes Takemichi try to find other possible ways. It's because he finds Mikey and Draken are good people unlike Naoto thought. Finally Takemichi asked Naoto to approach the Toman gang in the present, then he found out that Akon was apparently a part of the Toman gang. Finally they meet. Takemichi is very surprised to find Akon, who apparently is the owner of a big club. A lot had changed and Akon seemed to realize that Takemichi could travel through time. He tells of strange events that he can't explain in relation to Takemichi. He finally reveals that the one who pushed him down the train tracks was him, Akon. Akon asks Takemichi to help him and help his friends in high school if only Takemichi returns to the past. And a moment later Akon threw himself from the roof of his club building. Akon died. Akon's death in the future makes Takemichi realize that he really can't change the future as well as the past. But he also realized that what really had to change for the future was himself. So it is with his faith and determination that he returns to the past to make himself useful. On the other hand, he realized that the changes that occurred to Mikey in the future were the result of the killing of the Draken in the past. Helping and preventing the killing of the Draken is the pinnacle of Takemichi's goal. Despite his efforts he still couldn't avoid Toman and Mobius' fight. According to his knowledge in the future, Takemichi finds Draken pierced by a dagger with a fairly deep wound by Kiyomasa. Takemichi was hysterical at the scene in front of his eyes. It made him despair and shouted for Mikey. Mikey panicked and couldn't concentrate properly in the fight, awakened by the unconscious Draken from collapsing from the stab. Then, Mikey asked Takemichi to look after Draken while he would finish his fight with the Mobius gang. Mikey's words made him aware of Takemichi's determination to change himself and do the best he could to the best of his ability. He carried Draken away from the fight and contacted the ambulance. Meanwhile, Akon and his friends came to help Takemichi to keep him away from the Mobius gang. But Takemichi's efforts to save the Draken don't go smoothly. He gets hindered by Kiyomasa. Draken knew that Takemichi certainly couldn't fight the strong and big Kiyomasa. Draken then asked Takemichi to leave him so that Takemichi could survive without confronting Kiyomasa. However, Takemichi thought otherwise. Instead, he made up his mind and courage to face Kiyomasa by saying that this fight was a continuation of an unfinished gambling battle. Draken cheers Takemichi by betting 100 million yen on Takemichi's win. Then Takemichi and Kiyomasa's fight begins with various Takemichi attacks that are considered embarrassing, weak and a loser by Kiyomasa. Takemichi finally grabbed Kiyomasa's neck with both arms until he was unconscious. In the end, Takemichi won the fight. Draken is safe. Draken was not killed in the past and Mikey remains a good and unchanging Mikey. Meanwhile, the set moves to the future where Takemichi realizes that his past duty to prevent the Draken's death has been completed. He ran to Tachibana Naoto's residence to report the results of past events. But when he arrived at the door, it was Hinata who opened the door. Detective Naoto looked and noticed that the draken tattoo that Mikey had carved under his left ear had disappeared.
Toman の総長。だから死ぬまでの記憶がブワーって流れるあれ。